What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You already know what time it is. This is your boy, the historian, in the place to be. We pretty much have the pregame meal, pregame show starting off momentarily for the Falcons and the Raiders. So sit and we got you covered. This is the BirdCage LLC. We live right now, baby. Let's go. BirdCage. Welcome, 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 welcome. Pull up a chair. Let's grab a plate. Let's go ahead and break this thing down. It's dinner time, baby. It's time to eat. While the Falcons are out in Vegas, a lot of us on the East Coast getting ready for this ball game tonight. And we're gonna see how this thing goes. But it's a lot to divulge in tonight from the fan standpoint. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Hit that like button on the way in. If you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. So let's talk about it, man. And I've already dropped the chat. I've already dropped the link in the chat for you guys. If you want to come in and chop it up with us, I'm going to go ahead and put that also in the X space for my for the X viewers as well. So shout out to those folks out there. But tonight is a big one. This is a must-have. The Falcons have to win this ball game tonight to keep their playoff hopes alive and hope somehow that the Buccaneers stumble. We have a 2-game lead on these guys. But at this point, you just sit back and say, well, damn, you literally had the division in a chokehold and you let it go. How did you let it go? That's what I'm trying to understand. You had this, but you let it go. Most people say, yeah, that's just the Falcons being the Falcons. Well, when you talk about poor management from the offensive standpoint, the defense not being consistent, hell, I say the same thing too. It's a problem. You've got to really sit back and look yourself in the mirror and say, how did we let this division slip through our fingers? And now we're hoping and praying that we actually win. It's not a good look right now. It's not a good look right now. And at this point, all you can do is just laugh and just hope that they can figure this out tonight, handle their business, and then move on. But there's so many things that we have going right now that it's just a mess. What's going on, Thomas? My guy Thomas in the building and whatnot. He says we're coached up enough to win a playoff road game, so there's no need in winning more games. Call off the dogs and go to a top 10 pick and grab a right tackle in the first sign of monster. I agree. I'm not tanking at this point. I'm sorry. I'm not tanking. I couldn't be in the foxhole with you, big dog. There's one thing for me, regardless of how it goes, whether it's 44-0 in my favor or 44-0 in their favor, I'm still going to play all the way through. I can't stand when people talk about that tanking. That's a losing mentality. So I can't rock with that, fam. And you know the link is there. So if you want to come in, we can chop it up on that. I know you're high on Joe Brady, but I ain't taking him. I'm sorry, big dog. But at this point, I need a coach with experience. You had a chance to grab a Belichick to come in here, even if it was for a few years, just to set the foundation or whatnot. Now he's going to the college game, and it's going to be funny because people are like, oh, he's too old. Here's the thing. You're young as you feel. And a lot of people don't understand that he can relate to a lot of these young guys. Most people feel like, oh, well, those kids aren't going to want to deal with discipline. Here's the thing. He would have established that here. He could have walked into here and established a culture that would have been at least a foundation to build upon, because we, as Falcon fans, we don't have a culture. The only culture that we understand is blowing games, finding ways to lose, and screwing up draft picks at a period of time. At this point, I'm a fan in this area. As I always tell people, when I'm in the regular show, I'm an analysis. But on this show, I'm a fan. This is my fandom coming out at this point. And again, this is what this platform is designed for the pregame meal. It's designed for the fans to come in and talk about what they like, what they dislike, what they want to see from the Falcons. And at this point, we just want to see these guys finish this season. We don't know how this is going to happen. We don't know what's going to turn about. At this point, you're praying and hoping at this point. That's pretty much what we're doing. We're praying and hoping that they figure it out. But at this point, all you can do is just play. You have to play this season out. And all I can do is just laugh. And it's just funny when you sit back and you look at the type of talent that we have on this team. There should be no way that we fumble the bag on this division. There's no way that we should fumble the bag on this division. That's just my opinion on this. This division was in the bag because it's just weak. It's weak. There's no excuse. I think if Raheem would have came in a little bit more humble instead of coming in guns blazing, saying what everybody wanted to say, throwing shade at Arthur Smith, who is going to the playoffs as an offensive coordinator with a Pittsburgh team that practically is a tough team to beat, who beat us earlier this year. I think he should have came in a little bit more humble instead of running his mouth. The problem with our fan base is we enjoy people doing this. We enjoy our coaches coming in doing this. We enjoy our players. We got spoiled when you had a guy like Deion Sanders run his mouth and ball out on Sundays. It's just what it was. And you expect that type of presentation, but my thing is everybody can't back up what they say. You have to realize at this point, you try to set up something so you can win. Cold and deadly. No reason to do all that chatter. Now, with all the talking that's been done, the expectations are a disappointment at this point. All I can do is just chuckle and laugh. But speaking of general managers and disappointments, Thomas Dimitroff found a job, y'all. Thomas Dimitroff is going to be the New York Jets' new general manager. So he already has a team over there. The question is he going to be able to add more pieces to the Jets and get the Jets to a place that the Falcons once were, at a Super Bowl? So we'll see how that goes. Michael Vick right now is looking at San Jose State right now, college-wise. And congrats to him. He was interviewing for Norfolk State. HBCUs, would have loved to see him get to the HBCU ranks and really touch a lot of those young men's lives and help those gentlemen out, get to a level that I think he should get to. But, he's getting the opportunity to coach at a bigger school. I get it. It's about the money. But with where you're from in that community, you're from Hampton Roads, Newport News, around Bad News, VA. You got a chance to touch kids that are in that community that are going to that school, that are locals, that might not have an opportunity to be seen if you weren't there. But you got to do what's better for you and your career. So congrats, Mr. Vick. Today might be a great day. Bijan Robinson might be joining the ranks of 12 Falcon running backs in history to go for 1,000 yards in the franchise. So shout out to Bijan. He's going to get this record today. He's going to be into, like I said, he's going to get his he's going to get his 1,000 yards. Then he's also got a chance to get above the 1,500-yard mark when it comes to all-purpose yards. So shout out to him. Drake has a chance to get up into the 1,000-yard mark. So it's a lot of beautiful things that's going on when you talk about the Falcons at this point. What's going on, Ryan? That's a hell of a name to have, too, by the way. But when you talk about the Falcons at this point, it's a lot of talent that's being squandered at this point. A lot of talent that's being squandered at this point. The only thing that you can do is really pay attention to see what we have. Raheem Morris has mismanaged this year. Let's keep it a buck. Zach Robinson, our offensive coordinator, has been in a position to where he's killed momentum in games that he could have put them away. There are games that we should have won that we've lost. In this game here, if it's something that's working, you don't go away from it. We're playing a team that doesn't even have 5 wins. So right now, you just got to get this win. Win this game, go home, regroup, and get ready for next week. But tonight, you got to handle business. There's no tomorrow. You lose this game, you're practically handing the Bucs the division, because a 2-game lead at this point is pretty much going to kill the season for us. And it's sad to say it, but if we don't make the playoffs at least, or even get a division crown, this season is a failure as a whole. compared to everything that we've heard, everything that we've been promised, and everything that has come this way. So all you can do is just sit back and smirk. That's all you can do is sit back and smirk. Just hope for this cat to get this thing together. But like I said, I look at it as an opportunity to get things right and get things in order. We got somebody pulling up a plate at the table. What's up, C-Dub?
Ron.
Welcome to the pregame meal.
Ryan, I've had a long day. My daughter was in a car accident. She's okay. So she's about to get released. So everything, what I've heard, is okay. So good juju there.
Up,
thank you. Thank you. So I'm here, ready to talk Falcons. Man, it's funny. I wore my Falcons stuff because, I'm preparing for the game and everything. And as I'm walking through the hospital, they're looking at me. They're seeing my stuff. They're like, so do you think we're going to win or lose? And what's so sad is I looked at somebody and said, well, we are playing a 2-11 team. You would think we can win this game. It's like I started thinking it out loud. It's like, and I even told my lady, I was like, we're playing the worst team in the AFC in the Raiders. I said,
you lose this game.
Yes.
All I'm gonna say is, Raheem Morris, you might as well just not even come back on the plane. You might as well just buy your house out there, send for your family, and get the Mayflower moving truck to bring all your stuff over, because you're not gonna live this down, bro.
Look, as much stuff as he has been talking, and I'm going to tell you, Ryan, he's talked a lot of ish about Desmond Ridder too. He didn't stop during this week, and I'm going,
why would you give somebody bulletin board material? Yes. It makes no sense.
I've never seen it. Yeah, it's like I've never seen a coach this deftone to literally look at everything that's going around his team, and is trying to take the specs out of the Raiders. And I'm going, bro, Ridder, he hasn't played all 13 games. So, and I believe he is the starter, if I'm not mistaken. I know, Ryan, this is the way I see it. So no Max Crosby. So you should look at this. Like I was hearing people go,
Clerk's blind side will be safe now that Crosby's not playing.
Yeah. And people were like going, oh man, that was their only shot they had. And I'm going, why? Then it's like, I love it. I want to go, do you people not understand? We've been Falcon fans so long that we look at this and go, yeah, something's going to happen.
Do you forget who we got to play against tonight?
Yes. And not just that.
You know who I'm getting ready to say, right? The man that everybody thought Kyle Pitts was supposed to be, that is showing out right now, Mr. Brock Bowers. And I got laughed at and I got trashed. No, wait a minute. I got laughed at and I got trashed. And they were like, oh, you're putting on all your fandom or whatever because you're a dog. You're damn right. When we see talent, we know it. You don't see a guy get a Mackey Award. He's the first 2-time Mackey Award winner. You don't see anybody get that 2 times. And he was nominated as a freshman to get the award. As a freshman.
Ryan, how about we say it like this? It's not let's just say it like this. Tight ends in Florida, that's a nice name. Georgia, we played the position. And
it's only one tight end I would say that I would trust that came out of Florida, but God rest his soul. I'm not gonna speak ill of the dead, but Aaron Hernandez was he was a different kind of animal. And whether you like him or not, I know I didn't like him when he was a Gator, but when you look at the impact that he had, and he could also throw the football too, he was an all-around player like Brock Bowers is. So tonight, you gotta be able to stop Brock.
Well, see, and not just that, they're going to try to find a way to get the ball to him regardless. You'll have to watch out for sweeps. You're going to have to watch out for him lined up against the corner. And I'm telling you, if he's lined up against any of the linebackers, Cookie's already gone. That man's going because it's like he is what a tight end is supposed to be. When they saw Kyle Pitts, I guess, right? I don't want to get inside Terry Fontenot's and Arthur Smith's head, but this is what they thought. They were going to get the most dominant tight end ever. And then my thing I'm going is, you sure you didn't see that in Brock Bowers? Because that is the guy that I'm looking at.
But here's the thing. They said they went with the best pick at the time, and I've said this about our scouting department. And a lot of people laughed when I said this. I said, no, the scouting department has missed more than they've hit. And it's been abysmal when you look at the talent. And here's my thing. When you get former scouts that used to work here that said the worst thing that I ever did was scout Kyle Pitts, and it was plastered all over social media too. Yeah. It was an anonymous known scout and front office personnel who did scout him. He talked about it. And let's just be real, it's not just Kyle Pitts. It's not just Pitts. We got to be honest with ourselves. You look at what you've passed on. You passed on either Parsons or getting a Chase. Then you pass on the defensive lineman. No, Bijan is going to do what he does. Everybody's like, well, we hit on that. Okay, we hit on that. But here's my thing. We can't stop the run. Grady needs help. And at this point, it's to the point where we might have to get off of him. What's going on, Pharaoh? You can come on in if you want. I posted the link for the chat, bro.
When you look at this team, it's like I told people that first draft with, when we had Matt Ryan, I'm going, okay, this should be easy. Get the guy. It's not going to be the sexy pick, but go get you the lineman. Get you Renee Sewell. Because worst case, you're moving McGarity around. You have Sewell, and you can, you really would have something different then. And we go get a toy. But
I gotta address my guy Pharaoh. So I'm gonna give you this. Brock Bowers has had 3 bad quarterbacks in Las Vegas. Gardner Minshew. He's got another one in Desmond Ritter, and then he also had what's old boy's name that just slid in? So what's going on? What's going on, T Terry and Will, and what's going on, Rich? But let's be real. The man has had 3 different quarterbacks, and the production hadn't stopped. Look, you either gonna produce or you don't. I get everybody go, well, he didn't have these quarterbacks. Okay, I'm gonna say it like I said it. I don't want to hear no excuses because you got a rookie tight end that's had 3 different quarterbacks. He didn't have a Matt Ryan type of quarterback that was able to get him the ball, and the situation fell into his lap when Julio left. Calvin Ridley had his issues, and then he became the main guy, him and Cordell Patterson. This man don't have it. This man has had 3 bad quarterbacks and an abysmal team that only has 2 wins. So, again, I'm not saying that. Kyle's been in the league for a few years. Bowers came in, and Kyle was supposed to be the guy that was supposed to take the top off the dome as a rook, bro. And he didn't break that record. Bowers could possibly break that record against us tonight.
At one point, we got to call it what it is. We got to call Pitts and Troy Anderson a bust. You reached on these guys. You thought they were going to be all world, and look what they're doing to you. As The Rock would say, look at you now.
Part of me don't think Kyle Pitts a bust. Part of me feel like it's his attitude because he's not the main feature. You got to remember now, when he was, everyone keeps saying Matt Ryan, but when he was with Matt Ryan, like Ryan pointed out, it was just him and Cordell Patterson. Mm-hmm. So what did you do? You designed the playbook around them two. Ever since we drafted Drake, Bijan, and all of this, he hasn't been the focal point. So for me, I feel like it's more of an ego thing versus just him not being a bust to a certain degree. I think that some people not gonna admit when it's like going from a starter being the main person in the script to now you the fallback guy if in case the play breakdown. You're not really the main thing anymore. And I think that's what really the problem is, because now they want him to be a tight end and block.
Yeah, I agree with him, man. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, man. For me, man, I just want to see some consistency on all three phases, man. Just do what I said. Press coverage, a lot of man to man.
Hey,
I
wait,
mean,
whoa. We talking about players right now. We ain't talking about the game plan, man. Stick
oh,
to the script. You came in here
oh,
with your own damn script, man. Stick to the script. We talking about what's going on. We'll get to the game plan later, dog. We talking
my
about stuff.
bad.
We talk about Kyle Pitts right now and how everybody right now don't have a leg to stand on because you got a rookie tight end in Las Vegas that's had 3 different quarterbacks opposed to 1. And no, we're not going to talk about the injury-ridden years. Y'all can sit there and say that, but I'm speaking on Brock Bowers didn't have no stability at that quarterback spot. Let's
I'm
be
gonna
real
use
on
that.
that.
But I never, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know the reason why it's hard for me to compare them two? Because I've never, even when I watched Kyle Pitts in college, I've never, and he was a beast in college, don't get me wrong, I've
Yeah,
never
he
felt like,
was. We ain't taking
but
away
but
from
but
that
my
at
thing is,
all.
but my thing is, I've never considered him nowhere near a Brock Bauer level, period. Did
But
you
we
hold
got people in
one
this
quick?
fan base who are trying to do that. That's what we
No,
saying, bro.
you don't remember. I'm gonna tell you straight up. If Arthur Smith was here, we would have Brock Bowers, and I'll tell you why. You don't remember that picture when he went to Georgia draft day when he's supposed to be looking at defense, but he over there enamored by Brock Bowers before, this before
Yep.
he even graduated. He was salivating at the mouth because he got to see a true tight end. And Arthur, I'm telling you, if Arthur Smith was here, we would have Brock Bowers. Arthur Smith wouldn't have got no quarterback.
So I
Not
want
in the
to ask
first
John.
round.
I'm gonna ask John this real quick because I already know where you going with that, and I see John smirking because I know what John getting ready to say. John, I'm gonna ask you this, and I want you to be completely honest on this, bro. When we're talking about Kyle Pitts or whatnot, and we look at everything that he does, giving up on routes, piss poor attitude. I mean, it's just a lot of things that go into that. And this man is a first round pick and is supposed to be a face of the franchise on the field. I get the frustration. You tired of losing. But here's the question: how can you be the face of the franchise and lead if you're still dragging ass? Go ahead. I want your answer, John.
See, I'm about to tear the doggone rim off the backboard on that one. Because look here, man. Look here, man. You were the first freaking draft pick that your head coach made, and they touted you, and you were touted as a unicorn. You can't be walking around here, even in year 3 or 4, dragging your behind, sulking, quitting on routes. I mean, see, the thing is, and I understand what you're saying, Richie, about him being mad that he's not the featured person. But part of being a professional, the face that you show, the play that you have, you are supposed to be that consummate professional, so that when those people that are watching you, CBS, ESPN, ABC, the first thing that they saying about you is, I don't know why they're not throwing to him because he's open. I don't know why they're not targeting him because he's available. He's out there. You get the onus off of you negatively onto the quarterback, the offensive coordinator, everybody else. Okay, because see, the thing is that you were this man's first round pick when you should have picked the quarterback. You should have picked the doggone quarterback, long years ago, 3-4 years ago, when you had that number 4 overall pick. Should have picked the quarterback. No matter who it was, you should have picked the quarterback because you're trying to rebuild your franchise.
Or right tackle.
Or
Panay. Remember we said Panay. Remember I said Panay because John, we argued about this. I said Panay Sewell should have been drafted for us.
Amen.
It wasn't Panay Sewell. The other cat that we should have taken was it was another offensive tackle that came out of Northern Iowa that is down in New Orleans right now. I said it was those two.
And see that's where we disagree.
Man, you can do all that with
but think about it though. When you got an aging quarterback, now think about this. We just brought in Penix on the right. Think about it. If we would have had Penei Sewell or one of these veteran offensive linemen now, guess what? You wouldn't worry about Michael Penix coming in because guess what? They're already established. They're a veteran. They're not a turnstile, as you like to say, over at the Marta station and the West End, as we always say, John. And you would actually have somebody that would keep him clean on his blind side. Think about it, John.
Now,
Jared Goff don't ever get touched on that blind side, bro.
True. At the time, there was no Penix in sight. None of what has happened right now, what had happened yet. None of that had happened yet. We were trying to, I guess, because see, the thing is, because my memory is coming back, there was supposedly a big argument as to who you were going to get.
Whether you were going to Terry wanted a quarterback. Terry wanted a quarterback. Arthur Smith wanted the tight end to replace Julio.
Yeah, now
did that.
It was either going to be a quarter. It was either going to be a quarterback because Terry wanted Justin Fields. It was either a few positions because we had some. Myles Garrett came in here and talked about it. He said it was either going to be a quarterback, an offensive lineman, or it was going to be an edge rusher. It was going to be one of those three positions because if you couldn't get a quarterback in that draft, which thank God we didn't because we dodged the bullet with all those QBs that was in that draft that year. Most of them are backups or they've lost starting jobs now. Think about it.
Now, the problem at that particular time was you had an ownership structure, and then we go back to the owner. We go back to the owner and to the structure of the Atlanta Falcons. You had a head coach and a general manager with equal power. Okay, the coach didn't have to talk to the general manager before he did anything. Okay, so you had a flusterclub in your front office. All right, that's what you had. All right, so thing is that since you didn't have to talk with Terry Fontenot, but you hired him as the general manager, since Terry Fontenot didn't have to consult with you, Arthur Smith just did what he did. He said, I have heard credible sources say that Arthur Smith hated Justin Fields. Okay.
Yep.
When he
didn't interview well. He wanted the person he wanted is in Jacksonville struggling right now, Trevor Lawrence. That was who he wanted.
Right. So thing is, he gone. All right. Now you get a tight end. Now this tight end is not being used or wasn't being used the way that he was supposed to be used. Just like Richie said. So even in spite of that, you got to keep your head up. You got to keep your chin up. You still got to put on that face for the public. Let the rumors fly outside of the camera. But when we look at you on Sunday, where you have running routes, where people are pointing out what the quarterback is trying to do, but you have stopped on the route, so it makes the quarterback and makes you look bad because of the fact that you didn't finish out a route and at least go after a ball. You looking lazy, you looking slow. That reflects on you. And your work ethic and who you are, or it paints a picture to us as to who you are. That's why everybody was getting these attitudes about what Kyle Pitts was doing, how they were impressed as to what he was doing. And see, he's got to stop it. Regardless of what's going on, he's got to stop it in the light of the camera, especially tonight, because everybody's watching tonight to see whether we're going to fumble the bag all the way or what.
But that's why I said I never put
Bears and the Vikings on tonight. They might not watch us tonight.
Hey, but that's why I said I never put him in the Brock, because to me, Brock Bowers is a real elite tight end because he run crisp routes. He can block. He can shed. He can run wide receiver routes and tight. He can do everything that you want Kyle Pitts to do. And it ain't that I don't think Pitts can't do it. I think he just don't want to do it because
that's the difference between a football player and a diva. That is the difference.
I just
Bowers
think
is a
he don't want
football.
to do it. Cause truthfully, Pitts could be nastier than Brock Bowers if he really. Cause you 6'6". Brock Bowers ain't. I don't think he's 6'6".
Bowers is 6 foot. Bowers is 6'3", 6'4". But you got to
Mhm.
remember, Brock is also running a 4-3-4-4. That is
And
what
he
else
went
you running.
and he learned how to play the position for real. Cause Kirby Smart don't play by not knowing
Nah,
your
you can't.
position.
This is one thing we know about anything that play offensively at Georgia. Hell, I'll even say Oregon as well because Dan Lanning took that attitude over there on the West. Let's be honest. If you play for any coaches that are fundamentally sound in this college and it carries forward, and you are groomed, you're going to do the little things that are going to add up to the big things that you see. Because the big catches and everything, that's beautiful to have. That's great. But here's the thing. You win ball games when you do the fundamental things, you do the little things, you do the things that aren't going to show up on ESPN, that's not going to show up on the stat sheet. That is the type of stuff that you need from not just the tight end position. I'm not, and you know what?
But
I'm
it's
not just
good
gonna
you
get on just
said
Pitts
that.
on that. I'm saying everybody on this team. If we were more fundamentally sound and we were more disciplined, we'd have less penalties. For number one, we wouldn't shoot ourselves in the foot, and we wouldn't kill ourselves and kill momentum when we do dumb things. As John always says, you cannot chop off your nose to spite your face. If you have momentum, you must keep that going because we have a great time. We got a lot of great talent. It's just right now, it's just in a spot where you got somebody who doesn't know what they're doing with it because he's a first-year guy and is learning on the fly.
But that's the good thing about you bringing that up about Kyle and Bowers, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because that's what everybody gonna be looking at tonight. Because I'm telling you, that's what everybody gonna be looking. I promise you, that's what everybody gonna be looking at tonight. Because everybody, like, when you speak Brock Bowers, you talking about the top tight end that I've ever really seen in a while in college.
Yep, because remember Kittle was like that when he was at Iowa. They was just quiet about that dude. But if you're a college football fan, you got to really like everybody's seeing Kittle in the league. Oh, he's this man. Kittle was like
Been that
Iowa.
guy. He been that guy. But that's what I'm saying. Why I said that was a great comparison because we know you got the potential to be the same guy. But let's see if you gonna put it on the field tonight. And I promise you, that's gonna be the conversation on ESPN and everywhere else. They waiting on this game because they want to see who got the better tight end. You got a rookie out here playing out of his mind. But
Well, now,
well, they know who
Richie,
got it now.
Richie,
You know what you say?
No.
now, Richie,
I want to
I
ask
got
C-Dub a question before I let y'all cook some more. Because he was waiting. So, in your honest opinion, when we look at what we have with this team, and you see that this team has potential to make noise, they have potential to make noise. What do you think is the most disappointing thing that you've seen so far with underachieving this season? Hey, Ro, I'm gonna get you next, bro.
Y'all ain't finna keep talking about my boy. Okay, keep on. Y'all ain't finna keep talking about my boy Kyle like this.
Oh, I'm going to talk about him. Don't worry. I'll talk about him.
It's okay. Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this here.
Pharaoh.
You flew over from We Talk Hawks TV. Hold up, but let me give y'all a plug. Y'all check out We Talk Hawks TV every Atlanta Hawks game and even the after party. Shout out to Damon. These guys put it down. If y'all not with it, y'all better get right or y'all gonna get left, as we say up in here. One of the best basketball podcasts in the game right now. Now, I've given you your praise. I'm gonna put my foot between your hip pockets tonight. You came in here tonight, so I got something for you tonight because you've been in the chats talking reckless. You've been having a look. You've been coming in here like Matt been talking in y'all darn podcast. You've been acting like Matt in your podcast. I got something for you tonight. But C-Dub, please.
Yeah. Let me look. The most disappointing, I mean, we could talk everything that happens here with this team. But you know the biggest disappointment is that our offensive coordinator doesn't know our running backs. He doesn't know Tyler Algier. He hasn't, went out to eat with him. He hasn't talked to Bijan enough because, when you watch this game, watch how many times they crossed the 40-yard mark. And watch, all of a sudden we become PlayStation. And I'm not even saying PS5. I said PlayStation. Because we tried to rudimentarily throw the ball. We're not even trying to dictate pace. Why would you run the football? Because you're trying to dictate the line of scrimmage. Attack. Get these guys on skates. Especially if Max Crosby's not playing. You want to take the will out of them. Get them down by a couple of touchdowns. But you know what's disappointing? Is that this coaching staff, who's, this their 13th game, ain't even learned how to have a killer instinct. And the reason why I say that, they don't know how to run the football, or even if they say they do. No, they'll say it, but when it comes to clutch time, those jokers are going to tell Kurt to throw it, and Kurt's going to get tight booty syndrome, TBS as we call it here in the South. That boy starts sweating bullets. He starts biting his lip. He starts getting the white quivers, and because he wants to bring that potato salad with raisins, but he can't. But sure enough, he throws it to the daggone guy after he pump fake, thinking, "Hey, I'm gonna throw him off." Pump fake. All right, they didn't see it. Throw it again. Oh, they intercepted it.
Wait a minute. Did you really say potato salad with raisins in here?
That's what white people do, man. I don't look.
Hey, hold up. This is soul food plate. This is soul food place right here. You see this in the back.
Yeah, I know.
Collard greens and all this. The regular potato salad.
Hold on.
We don't
Ryan,
do potato salad with raisins.
Fine. If I saw someone bringing potato salad with raisins, they getting their foot between their hips, bro. I ain't allowing that. I'm gonna do them like I did the person that took my trash cans. They gonna get hurt.
Hey, Pharaoh, so welcome to the cage. Once again, this is my second time having you in here, big dog. What's up, man? Talk to us. Talk to the people.
So, okay, I don't like the Brock Bowers comparison. First off, Kyle's rookie year was fine if that's what you're comparing it to. But saying Kyle had what, 3 trash quarterbacks?
But think about it. Kyle's had 3 trash quarterbacks. Think about this.
In
Bowers
3
has
years.
had 3 in one in this year alone by himself.
Okay, how many?
3.
Last week he didn't perform. The week before that he didn't perform because he had nobody really throwing it to him.
And here's the thing, Brock Bowers, they've been finding ways to get my man the ball, and Bowers definitely has been doing this with 3 garbage quarterbacks. And now you give him.
Let's also take in the fact he was not the number. Brock was not the number 1 guy before Devontae left.
And here's the problem: Devontae couldn't even hold on to the ball over there either. That was the other thing.
True, but he was getting more targets than him.
He was, but here's the thing: Bowers is literally close to 1,000 yards right now. You talking about 884,
which is what Kyle had in his first year.
But Pitts got that at the end of the season. Bowers got 4 games left. He's gonna break.
I'm not saying Brock ain't better. I'm just saying y'all acting like they was in the same draft and one was taking over the other.
No, we're not saying they're in the same draft. What we were saying, because you walked in on this, because you be look.
I'm talking about the entire fan base who be talking about
that. No, but you got to think about it. There's a lot of the fan base that have been comparing, and this is just no lie. John has heard it on his show. C-Dub has heard it on his show, and Rich has heard it also too.
We've done.
You have a lot of people that are
close to all the places.
Mute my man.
Hey, C-Dub.
I'm muted him. I muted him. I got him.
Okay.
I got it. Sorry.
All right. Yeah. So what I was saying was with the way that this has been going, when you look at it, the conversation has really been going. Bowers is coming to the league, step foot into the league. You seeing him run end rounds. You're pretty much seeing what we saw at UGA, Pharaoh, and he's doing it on a level with grown men that's got car seats, beards, and alimony checks where they trying to take you out to get that next bag. And this man is doing it as a rookie, and he's not a little guy. He's a big.
I'm not saying Brock ain't better. I'm saying y'all acting like Kyle is trash.
We didn't say
I'm also not.
This is what we said.
He does run laser routes sometimes, but y'all got to take in cut the fact that if I'm running up and down the field and I'm not involved in offense, human nature is going to take over. At some point, I'm going to be lazy.
So here's the question. I'm going to compare it to something you know. We've seen that with Hawks players, with Trey Young before Trey started dishing it, and he was that one-man gang that we had, right? Trey's been a one-man gang for years. What did you see when it came to attitudes from other people on the side? What did you see from other players that were around when they got in their feelings about that? Be honest, you saw the same thing, right? Guys wasn't running as hard, guys wasn't playing as tough. They was letting Trey do his own thing, right?
Yeah,
because they were pissed. It's the same thing that's going on with this cat. But when he
that's
does
what I'm
get
saying. I'm just saying.
but here's the thing: when he gets opportunities or whatnot, he fondles them.
That's the problem. I'm sure he does that when it's not being thrown to him. The bad part is when it's caught on camera. Then everybody can see it and look at it. I'm sure some of them plays where he running down the field, he half-assing it because what you call it? Been thrown. I keep saying Kirk ain't throwing in the ball.
Kirk a real look.
I just love how he said,
not like him.
I'm sure some of them. I'm sure he's half running. Some of them.
I still don't see them getting rid of Kyle Pitts because in the back of my mind, I still think they saving Kyle Pitts for Michael Penix. Because Michael Penix, see the difference is Michael Penix don't have loyalty to Drake London like Kirk do. Because every time Kirk, the only person he want to throw to, like he don't have a favorite. He gonna throw it.
Let's be honest. As soon as Kirk get the ball, he want to throw it to Bijan and Mooney in 2 seconds.
But Drake is his main guy. Drake's about 8,000 yards.
He throwing to Bijan is got a number one receiver on this team compared to anybody else.
Targets. That's your boy London and Mooney. They're the ones that get targeted.
London. I'm not. How often they hike the ball and he looked right at Bijan, whether he running or throwing.
But
he ignored Bijan.
That makes Kyle like what, the fourth or fifth option at best.
Pharaoh in that 4-interception game against the Chargers.
Lord.
You remember that lollipop he threw into the end zone in a sea of five sets of hands?
John Robinson was running a slant route right in front of him, John, and he would have walked in for 6. Please don't. He didn't even. He was so locked on trying to doggone drop an egg into a doggone basket that Bijan almost ran into him. Man. He was open and he cut right in front of Kirk Cousins. And see, I didn't see it in the game. It was only after I saw the game film, the coach's film, that I saw it. I said, what in the hell? Why is he lollipopping that ball into the end zone in a sea of 5 sets of hands?
It was Drake London. That's why.
and the thing is, and see whether it was Drake London or not, and see this is where I have a problem. This is where I have a problem. You and I don't care if I was your coach, NFL, college, whatever. I get a 15-yard penalty for going on the field, grabbing you by the face mask and cussing you all over the doggone field for doing something so damn stupid. Why in the world are you sitting up here staring at a man with 5 people in the end zone with him? You got acres of grass to cut with a push mower, and you trying to lollipop a pass in amongst some damn trees. It was just stupid. See, Richie, let me tell you, I went through coaches where I did some stupid stuff, and I still shiver to this day. Because see, as soon as I do something stupid, I know what's fitting to happen. I know what they finna do to me. I know what the coach getting ready to say.
John, can I do it one time before I
go ahead? Go ahead.
Hey, Pharaoh, tell me if I got it down. My coach took a bullwhip and a 2x4 and put it upside my head. And then he made me sit there and carry the Gatorade bucket to the locker. John, was that spot on? Because you
just start. That's spot on, and that's just for starters. That's just for starters.
I was mild with it because when you get on the eye test, and by the way, everybody, please check out the eye test. If you are up late at night, 10 o'clock at night, you can't sleep, you got some insomnia, you want some milk and cookies while you're watching the show, guess what? The eye test is one of the best in the game. Y'all please check it out late at night. James, welcome to the pregame meal up here. We don't, my man pulled up a plate. We got the wings over here. We got collard greens, everything. What you want, man? Let's get to it.
Man, I'm gonna get them wings and the collard greens. I mean, before I start off, how y'all doing tonight?
Yes, sir.
Apprehensive
Apprehensive as hell because we don't know what we fixing to see in an hour.
If we lose to Desmond Ritter, I'm going down and burn some down.
I'm gonna say this to a Pharaoh point because we haven't looked at some film, especially from like that New Orleans game, and I'm gonna say the Vikings game. It was another game. When Kyle puts forth the effort, he gets open. We just have that quarterback that like John say, that looks at one person with 5 defenders around him and don't get on the ball. Doing some of the film sessions from the Waffle House and things like that of that nature. We slowed it down because I was wondering what me myself what Kyle be doing, because to me he does Pilates a lot out there on the field.
Pilates.
So I wanted to see myself like, hey, is it just him just being lazy and Kurt want to give him the ball, or is it both ways? And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's both ways. Because for the simple fact it is, when it gets down to it, when he runs his route and he runs his route correctly, he's open. It just that the simple fact it is, when you got the quarterback looking at Drake London as his safety tool, he really don't look at Darnell Mooney like that unless Darnell Mooney is just completely open or he's in stride of being open. When he just looking at that safety valve with Drake London, that would put a hindrance on the player. I done seen it. Me playing ball myself, because for the simple fact it was, in high school we was a running team. And we had like 2 really good receivers, but we never get them the ball. So it started messing with them to a point that they would just run half routes. They wouldn't even block on the play because they were messing with their move, because they were trying to get into college to play ball. And they need that film at that time.
Yep.
So with that being said at hand, I see both in a situation due to some fact Kyle Pitts does do his Pilates, but when he runs his route,
he is double run back routes sometimes. Yeah, I agree.
But he still gets open. He still does. He still gets open. In that New Orleans game, when Kurt threw that interception, Kyle Pitts was wide open underneath. You remember that, John? We looked at that. Remember that?
Yeah. And there would be John will be open. Kyle Pitts will be open. But if you sit up here, and watch a man from the time he get dressed at home until the time you decide to throw him the ball, and everybody's standing back there in the secondary as well as your linebacker core, they know that the book on you is that you will watch where you throw it. What do you expect to happen? It was the same thing with Matt Ryan. You stare coverage right to the person you're getting ready to throw to. And see, stuff like that out of a how many year veteran is Kirk Cousins?
13.
13 freaking years. And you doing rookie stuff. Kyle Pitts will get tired. Mooney will get tired. Ray will get tired. Man, shoot, even Rudy Poot to get tired of doggone trying to run routes, just running up and down the field, making cuts, getting checked and beat up by other folk because you're not looking for them. Okay, and that is what has been our problem over the past 3 games at least. Okay, we have just thrown away the division. Oh, you want a division? Here you go. Here you go. You want to go to playoffs? Here you go. Okay, because my coordinators, my position coaches are not hanging foot in rear end about stupid stuff that you do. Now, we did see last week, and James can attest to it, that man got into Kirk Cousins over there on the sideline. I guess that was TJ Yates, okay, the quarterback coach. I saw him get at him on the sidelines about the interception that he threw. But what are y'all doing in practice? What are y'all doing up there at Flowery Branch between these games to stop that? Because it's been the quarterback along with stupid, crazy, just this mind fart, brain fart plays where folk jumping off sides, where people holding folk, where people doing things, in addition to the fact that the officials are just calling ghost calls, you sitting up and adding to the misery. You're adding to the misery because you're not playing good football. And see, for that reason, we've played, okay, we got 4 games left. We played 13. We're going to play our 13th game. There has been no team that we played this year that we couldn't have beat. No team. No team. Because we've been beating ourselves to death. Like I always say on my show and on everybody else's show, man, look, you going in the alley, shoot, the robber don't have to pull a gun on you. You will take a 2x and beat yourself upside the head, fall unconscious in the alley, and let the man take all your doggone money. He ain't got to do nothing but just grab the money because you will beat yourself to death.
A lot of that too is mental, because I see what be happening. They'll make them ghost calls, like you said, and they get in their head. And then when they try to play aggressive, because now they in a deficit of points, and then when they play aggressive, they start thinking that penalties are getting called on them and they be moving. Because if you look at that last game we played, the offensive line was playing good till they started calling them ghost penalties. Even I was like, what are you talking about? That's not holding. But, they'll start calling a couple of ghost penalties on us, and our offensive line will just fall apart. And that's how I know it's a mental toughness, too, because one thing our team need to understand, that's why I be wondering what Raheem be telling them sometimes. Because one thing you got to understand, we the Atlanta Falcons, they not going to give us nothing. Like, they really don't even like us. They don't want us to play aggressive because they know if we play aggressive, we going to win. But in the same token, when we try to play aggressive, they have brain farts, like John said, which helps the refs with they call. So now the call is an actual call because you jumping off sides. You trying to play aggressive and missing the snap count. You can see it in the film.
Yeah, that's true. That's true on both ends. And the thing is, they just got to get in the mental break. Hey, if we get this call, we got to go. It's just one mistake. Let's get back to it.
I think it's a little bit more than that, fellas. It's more so, how can I put it? When it falls on this coaching staff, it falls from the top to the bottom. I can't just put this on the players. Players got to execute and do what they do. We make too many mental errors for number one. We put ourselves in bad positions because of momentum killing drives and just doing dumb things, period. And that's all the way around. Now, if we're going to talk about it, let's be honest. One of the worst things that you can talk about is this. We've had a few good hits on first round picks, honestly. And this is from when Dimitrov was here still, all the way up until now. Most of your best players come from these mid rounds. Most of our best players have come from the mid rounds. We hit with Bijan. We've hit with Drake. Got to give him that. And again, when you look at the first, Penix is still decided. We haven't seen him play yet, so we can't. The judgment is still going to be out on that. But when you look at it, our scouting department has been an Achilles heel. Has been an Achilles heel for this organization because it's more so they go with narratives and they go with feel-good stories as opposed to just drafting ball players. We get too many church boys that come through here. We get too many guys who don't fit what we do. Period. We've been dealing with this for years.
So, historian, let me ask you this question.
What's up?
So, and I get what you're saying. With the scout team, I definitely agree with that. But don't you think that direction comes from Arthur Blank when he was dealing with the Michael Vick situation? That
I'm
he don't.
not even gonna just put it there. Here's where I'm gonna put it at. It's not even with the Michael Vick situation. The situation that you want to go back and talk about is bringing Rich McKay in, old egghead.
Oh,
when you bring a man like that in, he won a championship in Tampa. We get it. But when you see that things are still not working and you don't get rid of him, here's what was gonna happen.
But ain't that Blank best friend?
Smith, let me tell you.
But you know
Arthur
they
Smith,
said McKay's supposed to be right after
McKay was the problem. No, but bro, you really think he gonna think about it? McKay says he's let go. They did a public press conference. You really don't think that influence ain't still there?
I know it's still there.
And he over the soccer team now?
It's heavily there. It's heavily there. Raheem and Terry made picks, but let's keep this a buck. You don't think they didn't run that through Mr. McKay? That's where the buck stops right there. Arthur Blank signing the checks. That's pretty much what he does. Arthur wanted Bill Belichick. He had Bill Belichick. Belichick wanted to come here. Belichick just signed a 5-6-year deal with North Carolina. We could have did something with 5-6 years with that man here. Say what you want. And the problem is he was talked out of bringing in a real football coach that had a pedigree. Now,
but didn't Kraft sabotage him everywhere?
No.
I mean, I guess we were the only one who interviewed him, but
well, yeah, now Kraft from what?
He was talked out of the job because Rich McKay and a few other people were gonna get the way it was gonna happen. Belichick was gonna come in, kick them dudes to the curb, and bring in his own folks. That was what was gonna happen.
That's really what was gonna happen. He said it because they were talking about Pioli
that was what happened
back or something.
Because I'm gonna tell you who was gonna be next in line after Belichick. Y'all don't want to believe this or not. Belichick would have did his thing. We would have probably had a good chance to get Ben Johnson up in here.
That's who I wanted.
Joe Brady. But I'm telling you, this would have been coming in here with no hesitation. They would have brought that over here. Because again, yeah, we know that Belichick didn't win a Super Bowl without Brady. We get it. But the first one, Drew Bledsoe led them all the way to the Super Bowl till he blew his knee. Let's just be honest. He led them that first season. Brady did everything else. Can't take away. But that's the man that always gets forgotten about is Bledsoe. And Bledsoe led that Patriots team.
Yeah, because they were winning way before Brady. They were winning
exactly
Bledsoe days.
That's what I was saying. Brady took over for him. So all I'm saying is this. I would have been okay with bringing Belichick in and trusting the fact that he would have given us somewhat of a foundation. He would have given us somewhat of a foundation that we don't have. Do you really believe that we would have had these scouts that we have now would still be in here? Do you really believe we would be in a bad spot?
Bringing his whole team. He already said it because that's why they did that report when they were talking about. That's what I was talking about with.
It's true. He did. Tyreek. Yeah, he did have ties with Belichick. I'm not Belichick. He did have ties with McKay down in Tampa because he was on that championship team. He was your boy Mike Tomlin's assistant in the secondary.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin did a whole interview about it.
Exactly. He was Mike Tomlin's gopher. So again, that was where the tie came in at because Jim Harbaugh already saw the writing on the wall. Harbaugh said, "The hell with y'all, I'm going out to the West Coast." And you see he's turning things around.
Because we didn't have a quarterback. Harbaugh had already said he don't want to go nowhere that ain't got no quarterback.
Or he would have came here if he was able to pick his own quarterback that he wanted. I believe he'd have picked J.J. McCarthy if we'd have got him, if you really want to be honest. I'm not saying I wanted him, but if you bring in Jim Harbaugh, I guarantee you J.J. McCarthy would have been our quarterback.
But you know, the only pushback I can really give you on that is watching the Ovi Mahaley show with them Falcon players he be interviewing. They actually would have, if it wasn't Belichick, but they said past Harbaugh, the reason why they still would have picked Raheem is because they know he know both sides of the ball. They said they just don't like the fact that he's letting them coaches do what they're doing. But they said, I know for a fact he knows both sides, offense and defense, and there's never been a coach like that. But the
Agreed.
problem is that he's not stepping in. He's letting
I'm talking
them
about
make
Jack and Jimmy.
mistakes on a winning season.
Now I'm gonna let's go back to the scouting department. Your scouting department gets a grocery list of the kind, size, specifications of players that the coaching staff wants. They go scout those players and they bring back a list of those players based on the specifications that you sent them out there to go look for. Part of those specifications is still the Falcon filter. Okay. The Falcon filter says that these got to be nice church-going folk that don't get into trouble. If it's a caution light at an intersection, they stop in the middle of the intersection and bag back up over the line to make sure that they don't get in trouble with the police. They are altar boys, choir boys, and really generally nice guys to be around with that you could introduce your daughter to, instead of the borderline psychotics that you're supposed to have on a football team. Okay?
Agreed.
Now, if you got to, and then on top of that, before I say this other thing, if you got to bring those types of people in and then add the Falcon filter to it, your job is just about virtually impossible. And you can look at what it is that you go get from the big tight end, running back, lineman store. Okay, these people, when it was time to defend Matt Ryan after that cornerback popped him back in 2013 in the first New Orleans game, they run it to the official instead of running to the man and, knocking the snot out of him and grabbing him up and just letting him know, hey, you don't hit my quarterback like this. Okay, now with all of the things, with all of the things that I say about Matt Ryan, and all that, that's still my quarterback. I can talk about him, but you ain't gonna touch it. It's just like we all on a team.
It's like your brother or your sister, your family members.
Yeah, you don't do that. Okay, I can talk about him like a dog. I can say this, that, or whatever. We can say this, but nobody outside the family gonna put their hands on. Nobody outside the family gonna be messing with. Okay, so
well, John, you talking about a scouting team that picked Tat McKinley over TJ Watt? What I'm still mad about.
But no. Hold on. The scouting team did not pick him. The scouting team did not pick him. They submitted his name, but those coaches and those executives got together and said, hey, these are the people that they brought to us for linebacker or lineman. Which one do you want? They did that. Now, the scouting department, and to your point, Richie, the whole group of people that they brought back, as far as the names are concerned, they might have all sucked. Okay, but the actual decision as to who they were going to get out of the available names fell on your coaching staff, your position coaches, and your executives. It fell on them. They were the one that made the final decision as to who out of the group of people that they went and scouted that they were going to pick.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Huh?
What the hell do you mean it sound like a bunch of people protecting the coach? Man, if you were sitting here listening, we said Raheem gotta go. We all done said that. You look, apparently you hear what you want to hear, big dog. So I'm gonna let you have that one, dog.
Well,
I ain't gonna say he got to go the
I'm
first
gonna say
year,
this.
but maybe next year he is getting on my nerves something with it though.
I'm
Now-
just saying
now-
this is no, because this dude got a vendetta and he can't stand Raheem Morris. I'm not saying I'm the biggest Raheem Morris fan because I wanted Steve Wilkes. If you really want to be honest, if we got a coach, I wanted to get Wilkes because if you can take an abysmal situation in Carolina when they fire their head coach and you get them one game away from the playoffs and beat everybody else, I'm fine with that. And then you go to San Francisco after D'Amico Ryans leaves and goes to Houston, and you get them boys to perform top tier. Come on, man. You got to bring a guy like that in because Chase Young literally was a guy that was really underperforming for what he's been paid for in the league. Let's be honest. And when Wilkes was over there, Wilkes told him, "You're not that good. Just because they blow smoke up your ass don't mean anything. Dog, you really one of the worst DNs that I've ever coached." And if you remember in that Super Bowl, Chase Young played like a man possessed. I had never seen him play like that. And now you see him in New Orleans, he's pretty much as harmless as a box full of kittens with pillows. That's really what he is to me. But I'm just looking at it like this. You got to get a leader of men, not a guy that's going to dance and show off his new Jordans on the sideline, and he's going to get in front of the press conference and pretty much, yeah. We do have some problems, but I really believe that we got everything we need. And I need somebody that's going to take accountability. When we screwing up, say we screwing up. Say we not playing good. It's okay to be honest. It's okay for that. But when you sit here and try to mask it and camouflage it, I can't trust you.
Wasn't that Coach Glanville that went on that interview that day talking, man, we just got our ass whooped. My bad. But when he
you good. And you can say that. I'm fine with you saying it. It's just
Glanville.
When he one of the ones that went in that interview, like, man, we just got our ass whooped. It is what it is.
Buddy Ryan was a coach like that. As much as I'm not a Mike Ditka fan, hell, Ditka was like that. But I give you this here. The big tuna, Bill Parcells, one of the most honest coaches of all time, and one of those coaches that players feared, but they respected him and they played for him. That's where you get. That's where Belichick gets it from. That's where Nick Saban gets it from. Let's talk about it. Parcells was a guy that would tell you, get your head out of your ass and let's go. This ain't JV no more. Remember this. You'll be cut tomorrow if you come in here half-assing. And my thing is, you got to bring somebody in here that not only develops people, but also can push buttons to motivate people and get the best out of them. The trick to being a leader is not to get people to be right there with you alongside you. No, it's to get people to do what you need them to do and accomplish the task at hand at a high level while you're leading by example, but you're also getting them to come along and do their job at a high level. That's what you do in leadership. And we don't have that as a coach. We got a dude that's just, hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, we're going to get this thing right. You over there? You good today? How the hamstring doing? Yeah. We have that. That's what we have. We don't have anybody that's going to cuss you out if you screw up. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and I'm gonna say this too. Pharaoh can attest to this. I'm for hanging foot in behind when you mess up. But what do they always tell me, Pharaoh? John, you can't do that with these millionaires and with these players nowadays and all.
Wait a minute. Hold up, John. Belichick actually did win a playoff game in Cleveland. He beat the Patriots. Go back and look at that. He had a playoff win when he was with Cleveland. So if you're gonna quote that, please quote that right.
And see, and let me deal with Thomas here for a second as far as Bill Belichick is concerned.
Handle that.
Look, because see, the thing is that I don't know what this is about Bill Belichick that people want to attribute everything that he did to Tom Brady. Guess what? He the one that picked him. He the one that picked him in the lowest round. The biggest move that was ever made by any coach or any staff. You got the argued GOAT in the 7th round. Okay, you stuck him in there. it worked for a long time. It worked for a long time. New England got to the point where they were getting 14 points just landing the plane at the airport. Okay, because of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. They were changing everything around Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, except Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Offensive coordinators, players, folk handing out water, people handing out Gatorade, and the New England Patriots kept on winning. Now, with 7 rings on your hand, you come to a franchise that has no rings. You outclass the entire franchise just by doggone saying, I want to come here and coach. I mean, there has never been a coaching candidate out of work with the resume that Bill Belichick brought to the table. Nobody. From the history of football, all 102 years of it, you never had a coaching candidate that was out of work that had the resume of Bill Belichick. The reason why these people didn't want to hire him, that man cast so long a shadow that you couldn't get around him. It's just like Parliament Funkadelic. So high you can't get over it, so wide you can't get around it, so low you can't get under it. You can't get around this man. You can't get around.
He said he didn't like how Terry draft anyway. He said he looked like he seemed like a know-it-all.
Hey, hold on.
Yeah. He was the one to say it.
Wait a minute, John. Did you really quote Parliament and Funkadelic just now, dog?
Sure did. Sure did.
One nation under a rule. That's exactly what he was quoting. If y'all don't know Parliament Funkadelic, check out One Nation Under a Groove. That was what he was quoting just now.
So I'm just saying, you couldn't get around this man. You couldn't get around this man. And you know, Tom Brady, I'm trying to figure out how you expected New England to win without a quarterback that they had for so long, and you wanted him to find the next Tom Brady or something close or equivalent to in one draft? In one draft? And let it be stated, ladies and gentlemen, that Tom Brady looked at all of the teams around the league before he decided he was going to go to Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay gave him the best chance to win a Super Bowl. That was it. That was it. You know, so all of this Bill Belichick acrimony, the reason why these people didn't want to hire him is because the man, this is being overqualified in football. This man was over freaking qualified.
He was about to clean house. That was what was getting ready to happen.
Yeah. And see, and you know, he and Rich McKay had it out ever since Rich McKay was on the competition or the rules committee or whatever. And you know, he busted him for Spygate, if I'm not mistaken. He got him for Deflategate. So they had animus as soon as he walked in the door. And all of those people in Flowery Branch up there in the nice, beautiful, and see, it's a beautiful training facility. That's just beautiful. Nice brick building, great big fields. They building all this stuff over here. He'd have cleaned them out. They'd have been out there on Highway 53 over there on in Gainesville trying to get a job at the Publix, because he would have cleaned it out. You know, and rightfully so. You let a man like that come in and clean house, because guess what? That man qualified to clean house. He qualified. He overqualified to clean house. You know, I'm sorry. And my thing was, however long he would have stayed, however long he would have been here, you would have had a foundationed organization when he left, because he's built this before. He's built this before. You would have had a foundation organization. But right now, something I always do, and I'm going to be quiet. Something I always do, I always give first-year head coach or new head coaches the first year. I give him the first year, regardless of the talent level, regardless of the people,
John,
I give him the first year.
I get what you're saying. You give him the first year, but this man is in his second stint as a head coach.
True. I understand.
That's why I say it's that's why I say it's a little tricky with this situation because you got a second time head coach.
But y'all know how loyal Arthur is. He ain't firing him this year.
No, we know he ain't firing him this year. What I'm saying is he should know better. That's all I'm saying because this is your second time as a head coach. You should know better. You're not a rookie coach coming into a situation like you did in Tampa. You actually were able to go through a draft. You've been on other staffs. Unfortunately, those defenses were already built from wherever he went with the Rams. We know this. Wade Phillips built those defenses. Mm-hmm. So when you look at it, everything has always been set up for him. Like this situation has been set up for him nicely. Even though we don't have all the pieces, we have enough pieces at this point, John, to where I can't give him that first year stint. When you came in here saying that we're a quarterback away and we have this, we have that, and da-da-da-da, we know the truth. We know this team. We've been watching them longer than he's been here. We know this. But let's be honest, when you come in doing all this, I expect results. You should have just came in and said, hey, right now, we're going to take this season by the horns. We're going to work. We're going to come in and do our job. You don't come in here starting fires right off the bat because guess what? You wrote a check that your mouth wrote a check.
John, you know what he sound like?
Cash.
Don't he sound like Ticket?
Oh yeah. He sound like Ticket talking about Trey Young and the rest of them.
You writing checks you can't
see me.
I don't know whether I can take that as a compliment or do I take that as just a side
swipe. It's a compliment because I grew with Ticket a lot.
Bro. Well, Ticket has an opinion, and I remember I don't know what it was that set him off on Trey Young, but I
think you came in that space when he was talking about Coach Prime. He think he'll want Coach Prime writing checks he can't cash.
Yeah.
My thing is this. Prime, look, speaking of that, shout out to Atlanta's own, well, he moved to Atlanta, but we claim him anyway because he went to Collins Hill. But shout out to Atlanta's own Travis Hunter. Heisman Trophy, did the damn thing. That is the third Heisman Trophy winner to come out of the city of Atlanta.
1,000.
The third.
Yeah.
George Rogers was number 1. Cam Newton was number 2. Now you got this cat as number 3.
And son, watch your steps.
Oh Lord. I already know you're going with
that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Son,
you've been seeing the video too, John.
John, you seen the video too? Prime then got the girl to stand up. Hey, how Pop said?
I see, Ryan. You taking the path. I said all I'm gonna say about it.
Hey, how Pop said?
This your show. You can take the path, but I said all I'm gonna say about it.
I got to say it one time. Hold up. How Pop said on Boomerang? I heard some girl at the office got you whipped. Don't be whipped. Whip that.
They know wide open.
Daddy, please. That's what you need to be like, boy. I'm just joking. Let me stop playing.
Channel 2 will have that outline on the ground in the morning.
Hey, all of them said, John, I'm not worried about it. I got Jesus and my peacemaker. I'm okay. And I got my meds from the VA. So I'll take my
no. I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about Travis.
I'm talking about me.
I'm talking about Travis.
He was about to crash out on everybody. When everybody was but here's my thing. When you got an obvious problem and everybody that don't know your business, it's not even the fact that people trying to just rag on the young lady. It's the fact that you are oblivious to the little things. As we speak on, the little things add up to the big things. Just like with the Falcons. Everybody all in love with Raheem and all this here. Oh, we got this brother up in here and da-da-da-da. We heard all this. But guess what? It's the little things that he's not doing or the little lack thereof little things that he's doing that should be catching your attention, and you should be looking like, wait a minute. It's the same thing. We all,
But Dan
everybody talking
Quinn
about
didn't even
Travis,
play by
but
all
let's be
these.
real. It's the same thing with the Falcons right now. Honestly,
Cause then,
we
like,
all see it. We all see it.
yeah,
But the problem is the people that need to see it don't see
don't
it.
see it.
Yeah, I mean that Joker nose is open as a 4-barrel Harley carburetor. I mean you can't. Shoot.
Hey,
I
look,
mean,
I'm not gonna talk bad about the young man because I'm gonna tell you the truth. I just pray that he gets in a situation, and we gonna get to it because we got these Falcons coming on. I want the scope predictions, and then we gonna get to this game. I got the halftime report coming up after the first half. So here's my question for y'all: how do y'all feel? This man's gonna be a top 3 pick. We know this. He ain't getting out of the top 3. We know that. But depending on where he goes, do you guys think that he's gonna have somebody that's gonna help him out? That's the question.
As in,
Thomas, we done moved on from Raheem Morris, man. We talking about Travis Hunter, man. Dog, if you want to spew, dog, you can easily come on here and say what you want to say about Raheem. We don't care. Raheem ain't seeing the little things, and Raheem got an issue, and we all have been addressing it. You just want to fuss today.
but if he
talking about Belichick, my bad. He's talking about Belichick. Man, we moved on from Belichick, man.
Yeah, well, and sometimes Ryan, you know, I used to run into that problem, you know, when I was you know, on your show before. By the time I would type, y'all would be gone to something else, and then that message just pops up late. You know,
I love Thomas. He good people, man. That's our boy.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
come in here,
But-
he drive. Thomas be out on the road doing his thing, repping the Dogs, Hawks, Falcons, everybody in the Braves. We just go back and forth with Thomas. He good people. Ain't no static. That's one of my guys right there. Got mad love for him. But today, my man just pretty much just chapping my nerves today. I ain't gonna lie. I'm having a Damon moment right now.
Lord.
I'm keeping my peace. See, I'm keeping my peace down. See, Damon would have been the man. No.
Or either went to the garage. Now I know you can't do that. He went to the garage on you.
Now you moved the goalpost or whatever. First you say he didn't have a playoff win. Well, we told you he won in Cleveland with Andre Rison and them boys. Now you want to move the goalpost, talk about New England. Now you bringing up shit.
What did I thought I had explained all that. But to answer your question,
cool.
and yeah, we got to go here in a minute because
yes,
we
sir.
getting close.
What we got for the scope predictions, fellas?
Hey, I gotta know what team coming on the field first before I can do that.
I'm gonna be bold and say it. I got the Falcons winning this ball game right now. I'll say this. I got the Falcons winning the ball game right now. I'll say probably 24-17. Because I know that we're gonna have some brain farts on this defense. I know we are tonight. It's just what it is.
May the force be with you.
I'm gonna say 2018. I'm gonna say 2018 Falcons.
I can't be a Padawan. I'm starting. Look, I'm moving. Look, I'm moving from being possibly a Jedi Knight into a Sith because it's people that's pushing me to be a Sith Lord. So don't do that. Let me stop clowning. But
hey man, just you know. I can't
wish you
give
could be on too, Thomas, dog. I love when you come on here. I love spirited debates around the table. We gotta save you a plate next time. But man, let's go ahead and get to this ball game or whatnot. So Falcons, I'm gonna
come back and let you really know how I feel about Kirk, not my cousins.
So we're gonna do a post-game show tomorrow night because I know people got to get up and it's gonna be late as hell. John and them gonna do something because they always do something before 2 something. But we're gonna do a show tomorrow night. It's gonna be either the party line or the benediction. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure that we have something for the fans for tomorrow so y'all can tap in, but also tap into the halftime show or whatnot, and I'll give a breakdown of what we see or lack thereof. Hopefully, there's more to the hand that meets the eye tonight, opposed to a disappointing game. So let's go ahead and get these Falcons this dub, man. Thank y'all for coming on, Pharaoh, John, Rich. Hey, as we
Appreciate you.
always say, thank y'all
Yes,
for
sir.
coming through and
Thank you.
pulling up a plate. We got to get y'all back in here again next time.
All right.
All right.
Hey, rise up and let's get this dub. Y'all be easy and be blessed.
Rise up.
Help! Help! Help!
Jump.